Something strange is happening above you right now. Archangel Michael is sounding the alarm. You must open this message before 12:00 a.m. or face serious consequences. The air trembles tonight. It hums with an unseen voltage, as though time itself is holding its breath. The heavens are not quiet, and the winds are not still. Something divine stirs above you. The Spirit whispers that this message was not meant for many, but for a chosen few whose hearts can still discern the movement of eternity. You have not found this message by chance. This is a divinely appointed intersection, a sacred crossing between heaven and earth, and you have been drawn into it by unseen hands. As the midnight hour approaches, the line between worlds thins. 12:00 a.m., a time despised by darkness and revered by angels. It is the threshold where one day surrenders to another, where unseen gates open, and where celestial movement intensifies. Many will sleep through it, unaware that the heavens shift above their resting bodies. But the awakened, those who feel the vibration in their spirit, the quickening in their heart, will know something is unfolding. And in this moment, Archangel Michael stands at the forefront of the unseen armies. His sword gleams with divine fire, cutting through the shadows that have gathered around the earth. His voice echoes through the heavens like thunder wrapped in holiness, a sound not of fear, but of summoning. He sounds the alarm of heaven, the call to awaken those chosen for divine protection and alignment. His cry travels through realms, reaching those sensitive enough to hear it not with their ears, but with their souls. Strange signs have begun to ripple across the skies, flickers of light, whispers of wind, patterns that defy explanation. These are not coincidences. They are signals. Heaven is speaking in code to those who still remember how to listen. But silence is required. Stillness is demanded. For even a single distraction can cause the soul to miss the divine frequency that is calling it higher. This message carries the weight of heaven's attention. It is not casual. It is not entertainment. It is divine instruction wrapped in warning. The air above you is not empty. It is alive with movement. Heaven watches how you respond in this very moment, for your awareness determines your alignment. Archangel Michael's alarm is sounding now. Can you feel the trembling above you? Type "I hear the alarm" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 909 is now activated around you. Before the clock strikes midnight, heaven will demand a response. The Spirit of the living God has set this hour apart, not as an hour of comfort, but as an hour of confrontation. The midnight threshold is sacred, and the heavens are not silent above you. Even now, the sound of divine movement ripples through the air. The alarm of Michael has gone forth, not as a metaphor, but as a living decree. For what stirs above you is not random thunder. It is the alignment of realms. Heaven has drawn near, and with that nearness comes divine inspection. Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's armies, stands poised in the unseen expanse. His sword burns with the light of holy justice, forged in the eternal fire of the Most High. His voice resounds like a shofar over nations, calling the faithful out of slumber and into awareness. Awaken, O chosen one, the Spirit declares. The hour of stillness is ending. The hour of revelation begins. The clouds themselves bear witness. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit senses it. The tension, the current, the unseen pressure that hums in the atmosphere. These are not natural disturbances. They are the echoes of celestial preparation. The trumpets beyond the clouds are aligning. Angelic hosts are positioning themselves like radiant sentinels upon the gates of time. The world above you is no longer quiet. It is alive with purpose. Every pulse of wind, every flicker of light in the night sky carries meaning. This message was not broadcast to the masses. It was whispered through eternity into the path of your spirit. You were meant to hear this. Others will scroll past, their hearts too heavy with distraction to notice the divine tremor passing overhead. But not you. Your soul was tuned to this frequency before you were born. Something within you knows that what you feel tonight, that restlessness, that sudden awareness, is not coincidence. It is calling. Before 12:00 a.m., your spirit must be aligned. Heaven's decree is clear. An unseen current will pass over. It will separate the watchful from the weary, the awakened from the complacent. Do not take this lightly. Do not mock the stirring you feel, for this hour marks a dividing line. You stand at the edge of something vast, and how you respond will determine what covers you when the spiritual wave moves through. The alarm is not punishment, it is mercy. It is heaven's way of drawing near before disruption comes. Many sense unease in their homes, flickering lights, or restless nights, and they wonder why peace feels suspended. It is because the realm above you is vibrating with movement. Heaven is sending a signal, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. For what's above is not chaos, it's choreography. Every angelic step is ordered, every sound intentional, every tremor a sign. Stillness is your obedience now. To move without discernment is to miss the divine rhythm. Heaven is testing not your strength, but your attention. Can you be still when the heavens stir? Can you listen when the divine thunder rolls? Can you obey when nothing makes sense? For those who pass this test, the alarm will become a song, a melody of revelation and protection. Archangel Michael now moves on your behalf. His wings stretch over you, marking your territory as divine ground. Darkness cannot touch what has been sealed under heavenly sound. As the final minutes tick toward midnight, be still. Watch. Listen. And know, this is not merely a warning, it is a summons. The heavens are calling your name, and time itself bends to that call. Type "I am awake" in the comments if you hear heaven's summons. Blessing code 717 is now released over your atmosphere. Something is stirring around you, though you cannot name it. The air has changed. It carries a strange vibration, a weight that presses against your chest in quiet moments. Electronics flicker for no reason. Sleep feels uneasy, and conversations turn suddenly tense. You sense it, though you try to dismiss it. But the truth is this: the atmosphere above you is no longer neutral. The spiritual realm has entered proximity, and your spirit is reacting to what your eyes cannot see. Heaven's frequency is brushing against the natural world, and though sensitive to the divine pulse can feel the trembling. You have noticed it, the silent disruptions, the static in the air, the moments of unexplainable emotion. What you are feeling is not chaos, it is a signal. Heaven is trying to awaken you to what is happening beyond the visible sky. Spiritual watchers unseen guardians assigned to your life have been active. They record your words, your prayers, your steps. They have been tracking the rhythm of your days, ensuring that nothing you've endured has been lost in vain. Yet there are also watchers of another kind, ones who monitor from the shadows, drawn to your light because it reveals what they cannot control. This is why confusion has increased, why those who once felt safe now seem uncertain, why rest turns into restlessness and peace feels momentarily distant. It is not because you are under attack, but because heaven is shifting your atmosphere. When Archangel Michael sounds the alarm, the vibrations reach both light and darkness. The faithful hear the call to awaken, but the forces of opposition tremble in disarray. You are standing in the middle of that collision, a spiritual crosscurrent that few can endure without divine peace. You have felt watched lately. You have caught glimpses of things in the corner of your vision, sensed movements when you were alone. Do not fear these sensations. The natural realm bends when the supernatural draws near. Heaven allows this tension not to frighten, but to focus you. The Spirit is breaking routine, disrupting comfort, and stirring awareness. Every disruption is a signal of divine attention. Every sleepless night, every strange dream, every passing anxiety is evidence that you are being awakened, not abandoned. Do not be distracted by gossip, betrayal, or emotional noise. These are diversion tactics, spiritual interference sent to draw your eyes away from what is happening above. You must learn to guard your atmosphere. When confusion tries to enter your mind, respond with silence. When accusation rises, stay still. For heaven is allowing these disturbances only to test your discernment, to see if you will trust the unseen even when your environment trembles. Ask yourself, why do the skies look different lately? Why does your spirit ache without reason? It is because the heavens are in movement, and your name is being spoken in the courts of light. The air above you is pregnant with divine purpose. What feels like disruption is preparation. What seems like mystery is revelation waiting to be unveiled. Heaven shakes the surface before it releases the answer. You are not losing control. You are entering alignment. The unease you feel is your soul recognizing that something greater is unfolding. These are the birth pangs of transformation. The alarm of Michael is echoing through realms, and your spirit has responded. Heaven watches your reaction now. Will you lean into faith or retreat into fear? Remember, silence is not weakness. It is warfare. The unseen is real. The signs are not random. You have been chosen to perceive what others ignore. For the Spirit says, I disturb your peace to protect your promise. Every flicker of unease is a divine reminder. Heaven is closer than it has ever been before. Type I am chosen in the comments if this message stirs your spirit. Blessing code 1414 now surrounds your dwelling. The same presence that stirs your spirit also fuels this divine mission. Every time you sow into this message, you are not supporting a voice. You are releasing light into lives still bound in darkness. When you give, you help Archangel Michael's call reach souls who may never hear God's warning without it. This is not a donation. It is a prophetic act of rescue. Just as the heavens pour oil upon the willing, your seed opens new rivers of awakening. I hear the Spirit whisper, As you release, I release. Beloved, if this message has touched your heart, respond to the call. Join this mission through super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal, where the link is in the description. Your giving is your declaration. I help heaven reach the lost. Type I am a light bearer and let the heavens record your offering. Blessing Go 2024 is now unlocked. There is a battle above you, and though your eyes cannot see it, your spirit already feels its vibration. The disturbance you've sensed is not random. It is the shaking that occurs when realms collide. Light and darkness have entered confrontation. The skies themselves bear the echo of divine warfare. What you have called anxiety has been the trembling of your spirit, recognizing that the veil between worlds is being torn thinner by the hour. And at the heart of it stands the great warrior of heaven, Archangel Michael, the defender of the faithful, the one who sounds the trumpet when divine order must be reestablished. Do not mistake the conflict for chaos. What you feel is not the collapse of peace, but the movement of heaven enforcing justice. Michael's alarm was not sent to destroy. It was sent to awaken. For too long, the spiritual atmosphere around you has been polluted by unseen resistance, by whispers meant to weary your heart and distract your destiny. But now, the heavens have intervened. The tremors you sense are the movements of angelic ranks positioning themselves between you and the forces that sought your silence. This is not a warning of doom. It is a proclamation of divine protection. Many confuse this warfare with personal turmoil. They see conflict in relationships, sudden tension, or lost peace, and they assume they are under attack. But heaven reveals the truth. You are not being attacked. You are being awakened. Your unease is divine training. Every test of patience, every moment of pressure is designed to sharpen your discernment. The alarm of heaven rings only for those who carry a mantle worth guarding. And you, beloved, are carrying something holy, a calling that drew celestial attention. The battle above is a reflection of what's been building within. Darkness has sensed your nearing breakthrough and has sent confusion to cloud your vision. But Archangel Michael's sword now divides illusion from truth. The very atmosphere that once pressed against you is being purified. You may feel the resistance growing stronger, but understand this. Resistance is proof of motion. If you were standing still, darkness would have no need to oppose you. Heaven's army is now active. The angels of light have surrounded your dwelling, intercepting every whisper of fear before it can root in your spirit. The trembling you feel is not danger, it is reinforcement. Every gust of wind, every sudden stillness in your room is a reminder that heaven has stationed its warriors near you. The alarm that sounded was not to terrify you, but to signal your protection has been heightened. You are being hidden in the cleft of divine covering, while the battle rages above. And know this, your silence in this season is not weakness. It is strategy. Heaven does not require your noise. It requires your stillness. The enemy thrives in chaos, but heaven moves in calm precision. When you are silent, heaven speaks louder. When you withdraw from argument, angelic swords are drawn in your defense. The shaking around you is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being trained for revelation that only those who have endured the storm will understand. Archangel Michael's alarm is a holy reminder that heaven knows your name. You are not forgotten, not overlooked. You are being observed by the armies of light who have taken interest in your endurance. The divine watches your composure, your patience, your choice to believe even when the evidence seems absent. For those who pass this test, the alarm becomes a trumpet of elevation. So do not fear the disturbance. Interpret it correctly. What feels like pressure is your promotion. What feels like isolation is your anointing separating you from distraction. Heaven is measuring your faith in silence, for the quiet believer shakes more realms than the loud skeptic ever could. Archangel Michael stands over you even now, his sword of flame, his decree clear. No harm shall befall the one who heeds the sound of heaven. This is your one to anchor your spirit. The conflict is not meant to break you, but to build the strength required for what's coming. The alarm was never destruction. It was the signal of divine attention. Be still and know that heaven is fighting for you. Type "I am guarded" in the comments if this resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 1199 is now surrounding you with divine armor. There is a rising tension in the unseen realm, a vibration so precise, so intense, that the spirit can almost hear it humming through the stillness of night. You can feel it in your bones, can't you? The air feels heavier, the silence sharper, as though heaven itself is drawing breath before release. This is not imagination. This is not mere atmosphere. This is the divine countdown before revelation. Something is about to break open. The message is clear. Within the next 72 hours, heaven's records will finalize who has heeded the alarm. It is written that obedience is the line between preservation and confusion. Those who remain still, who listen, who align before midnight, will find themselves covered when the unseen wave passes over. Those who ignore the warning will wander in delay. The alarm of Michael has not stopped echoing. It is reverberating through every layer of creation, searching for response. You have noticed strange movements in your world. People shifting suddenly, words being revealed, intentions surfacing without reason. This is not coincidence. It is divine exposure. Heaven is unmasking hearts. Someone near you, one you once trusted, is being revealed for who they truly are. Heaven allows this unveiling not to wound you, but to free you. For every destiny must undergo separation before expansion. Do not be alarmed by the revelation of hidden motives. These are signs that the spiritual hourglass has turned. Even nature is echoing heaven's language. The winds carry messages of change. The skies flicker with unnatural light. Patterns are repeating. Watch closely, for the Spirit says, "I will confirm my word in threes." 3 signs, 3 moments, 3 confirmations will appear before this cycle concludes. Each one will testify that what you are feeling is not fear, but forewarning. Heaven speaks in patterns to those willing to observe. Be cautious with your words in this hour. Heaven is weighing speech. Every declaration, every reaction carries weight. Do not speak hastily, for what you release now will set the tone for the next season. Silence is not weakness. It is spiritual restraint. Heaven is not asking you to explain. Heaven is asking you to discern. Your silence becomes your seal. When you resist the urge to respond in the natural, you give permission for the supernatural to act on your behalf. Something unseen is aligning, and heaven has chosen to keep parts of it hidden. Not all revelation is given at once. Some truths unfold only when obedience has been proven. The Spirit whispers, "Wait and watch." You are being prepared to witness divine intervention that cannot yet be spoken. To reveal it prematurely would be to weaken its power. For now, know only this: the signs above you, the unease within you, and the changes around you are converging toward one divine outcome: your protection through obedience. You must guard your atmosphere in these days. Play the sound of worship where you dwell, for light answers light. If fear tries to enter, remember, fear is the counterfeit of reverence. Replace it with stillness. When you feel the tension rising, speak softly, "Heaven is near." The angels will respond to that frequency, and peace will descend like mist over your mind. Do not run from the trembling. Let it pass through you. The shaking will not destroy you. It will reveal what cannot be shaken within you. Every storm that precedes revelation is necessary to sweep away the debris of the old. The next 72 hours are not days of dread, but of decision. Your awareness, your obedience, your surrender, these are the keys that determine what realm you stand under when heaven moves. The message is sealed. Be still, remain alert, and trust the unseen choreography of God. For when the appointed moment arrives, what has been hidden will manifest, and you will understand why the alarm had to sound first. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this divine warning. Blessing code 2211 now shields your next 72 hours with light and truth. Be still. Heaven fights when you don't. The command of this hour is not to run, not to reason, not to react, but to rest in divine stillness. For stillness is not silence. It is alignment. It is the posture of a soul that has surrendered its panic to the authority of heaven. Archangel Michael stands guard tonight, his sword extended in radiant defense. The atmosphere above you has been charged with the sound of wings and the gleam of divine armor. The alarm that once signaled warfare now shifts to signify protection. Those who have heeded the call, who have listened with trembling obedience, are now being wrapped in the unseen covering of heaven's command. The Spirit says, "Do not fight what I have already conquered. Do not defend what I have already sealed." The hands that fumble in fear cannot hold the blessings heaven is delivering. Your protection does not depend on your strength. It depends on your surrender. Between now and midnight, the unseen realm will be active. Angels aligning, watchers standing post, the gates of heaven closing around the chosen. Those who remain still will feel peace descending like oil over their shoulders. Those who move in haste will find confusion clouding their way. This is not punishment. It is law. Divine order functions best in calm. Look around you. The walls of your dwelling are not empty. They shimmer with unseen guardians. Angels of fire encircle your space, warding off intrusion, marking boundaries that darkness cannot cross. The same alarm that shook the heavens is now your defense signal. When you breathe in prayer, the air itself becomes charged with light. When you speak faith aloud, the room fills with motion. The unseen hears your sound, and it responds. Your assignment tonight is sacred. Create stillness. Cleanse your atmosphere of noise and fear. Play worship not as entertainment, but as warfare. Sound breaks darkness, and praise repels the shadows. If anxiety rises, speak only this: I am guarded by light. I am unseen by evil. I am aligned with heaven. Each word builds a wall around your spirit. Every declaration anchors your energy into divine order. You do not need to understand the battle. You need only to remain in the posture of trust. Heaven moves with those who wait. The loud and restless will miss the shift, but those who sit in quiet confidence will watch deliverance unfold before their eyes. Even now, Michael's legions are repositioning the very air around you. You may sense warmth on your skin or sudden calm in your chest. These are not coincidences. These are signs that your home has become holy ground. Heaven has drawn its line, declaring, no darkness may enter here. Do not let fear whisper its false prophecy. It will tell you that you are vulnerable, unprotected, uncertain. But remember, fear is faith twisted backward. Every time you resist fear, you reverse its power. Every time you choose calm, you call heaven closer. The still soul becomes a fortress, and within the fortress, angelic fire burns against every shadow. Prepare yourself. Dim the noise of the world. Silence your thoughts until peace becomes your language. Between now and midnight, remain steady. You need not speak much. Let your stillness speak for you. For the still are never unguarded. They are simply watched by heaven in perfect trust. You are being sealed tonight. The alarm was sounded to awaken you, but now it becomes your safeguard. Rest without fear, for Michael's watch does not sleep. Heaven has taken notice, and divine order surrounds you like walls of living light. Your assignment is clear. Be still, and let heaven fight for you. Type I am guarded by light in the comments if you choose divine stillness tonight. Blessing Ode 3131 now seals your home and heart in heaven's protection. The trembling has begun to quiet. What once felt like chaos is now becoming clarity. You begin to sense it. Something within you has changed. The fear that once stirred your heart now feels like a distant echo, replaced by an unexplainable strength. Heaven has not abandoned you in the storm. Heaven has forged you through it. This was never a message of fear. It was an initiation into power. For every alarm that sounded above you was not a sentence of doom, but a summons into divine authority. The shaking was never meant to break you. It was designed to reveal you. Archangel Michael, whose alarm once thundered through the heavens, now lowers his sword. Not because the battle is over, but because you have awakened. You are no longer the trembling listener waiting for deliverance. You have become a vessel of divine awareness, aligned with heaven's rhythm. The stillness you chose became your doorway into strength. The silence you obeyed became the language of spiritual maturity. You have crossed the threshold between fear and faith, between panic and purpose. You are not who they thought you were anymore. The version of you that doubted, feared, and questioned has been shed like an old garment. What stands now is refined, sharpened by pressure, illuminated by revelation. Every sleepless night, every moment of uncertainty, every unseen battle has carved power into your spirit. The alarm was your awakening. You were not under attack, you were under construction. Look around you. The same air that once felt heavy now carries divine electricity. The atmosphere that once oppressed you now responds to your presence. Heaven has transferred some of its authority into your being. You are not beneath spiritual forces. You have been raised above them. The alarm that once summoned you to awareness has now commissioned you into dominion. The Spirit declares, you are no longer being shaken. You are the one who shakes darkness. Your wings are unfolding, though they are not wings of flesh. They are the extensions of your faith, invisible, radiant, strong. You feel the weight of new armor resting upon your spirit, the armor of discernment, peace, courage, and divine sight. These were not given cheaply. They were forged through your obedience. Heaven trusted you enough to test you, and now it crowns you with spiritual authority. Every word you speak carries vibration. Every prayer you whisper carries weight. The atmosphere no longer intimidates you because you now command it with faith. Do not underestimate what has been activated within you. You are being fortified, not punished. The storms that once terrified you now recognize your endurance. Angels move differently around those who have learned to stand firm. The realm above no longer trembles for you. It trembles with you. You are becoming part of heaven's orchestration, a sound, a light, a frequency that echoes divine purpose. The alarm did not come to chase you into hiding. It came to call you into identity. So rise now in awareness. Stand as one marked by heaven. Speak not with fear, but with authority. The Spirit of God whispers through the winds around you. What once overwhelmed you will now obey you. The very forces that tested you will become your training ground for revelation. You are no longer beneath the alarm. You are aligned with it. Let your spirit declare, I am not shaken. I am chosen. I am transformed by the sound of heaven. This is your shift, from trembling to triumph, from silence to song, from being awakened to being an awakener. You are now part of the heavenly call that once summoned you. Type I am empowered by heaven in the comments if you feel the transformation rising within. Blessing code 4414 now crowns your spirit with divine strength. The alarm that once shook the heavens has now settled into revelation. The sound that once warned you has become a melody of understanding. You now stand in the clarity of what heaven has been orchestrating from the beginning. The disturbance, the unease, the trembling, it all led to this divine unveiling. For the Spirit of the living God declares tonight, the alarm was not destruction, it was announcement. Heaven was not breaking you apart. Heaven was breaking you open. Every strange occurrence, every restless night, every whisper in the sky was heaven signaling, the appointed time has come. Above you, unseen scrolls are being opened. The names of the chosen are being read aloud before the throne. And among those names, yours has been spoken. Your obedience has not gone unnoticed. Your silence in chaos was seen as worship. The midnight hour, once feared as a moment of danger, is now your threshold of divine unlocking. Heaven is repositioning the chosen. There is movement in the Spirit, a reordering of destinies, an unfolding of long-awaited promises. The shaking was never about loss. It was about alignment. Strange events that have surrounded you are confirmations, not coincidences. Have you noticed how certain things have been surfacing? How conversations seem divinely timed? How it was hidden has begun to reveal itself effortlessly. These are not random moments. These are signs of synchronization. Heaven is arranging your path like a divine chessboard, positioning you where favor can find you. What felt delayed was actually divine redirection. The Spirit whispers, I was not withholding, I was perfecting. Understand this clearly. Heaven's alarm has always been a signal of transition. It marked the closing of one chapter and the emergence of another. The trumpet of Michael did not just awaken you. It announced to the heavens and the earth that your name carries new authority. Heaven now moves to reposition you among those chosen for restoration and elevation. The doors that were locked will now respond to your faith. The opportunities that felt distant will now draw near, for divine timing has been triggered. You have not missed your moment. Your moment has been maturing. Every tear watered the soil where your next blessing will bloom. Every rejection became a redirection toward divine alignment. The same skies that once thundered in warning now shimmer in confirmation. The Spirit declares, my child, you are stepping into divine timing. You are walking into the place I prepared while you waited. So do not be surprised when peace feels heavy, when favor feels sudden, when clarity feels overwhelming. You are entering the calm that follows the alarm, the divine pause before manifestation. The same realm that tested your endurance will now display your vindication. Archangel Michael no longer sounds the warning. Now he heralds your elevation. The heavens above are no longer in battle. They are in celebration. This is your prophetic revelation. You have passed the hour of testing. You have endured the trembling. You have proven faithful in silence. Now heaven opens before you as a field of divine promise. The storm was the signal. The stillness is the reward. Type I receive my revelation in the comments if this word speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 5522 now opens the gates of divine timing in your life. When revelation comes, it carries responsibility. Heaven is awakening voices that will spread this light farther than one message can reach. If this word has stirred your soul and aligned your faith, know this: your seed becomes a sword in heaven's hand. Every gift through super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal link in the description becomes fuel for the mission, not to lift a platform, but to lift hearts still bound in darkness. The same oil that flowed upon this message will flow upon your giving. As the Spirit says, those who sow into the sound of awakening will reap harvests of revelation. Do not hesitate. Act prophetically. When you give, you declare, I help heaven awaken the sleeping. Type I sow into light in the comments, and heaven will mark your generosity. Blessing code 2025 is now activated over your finances and faith. The alarm has sounded. The revelation has been released. Now heaven calls you to rise and respond, for this is the moment of destiny activation. The trembling above you was not just to awaken you, but to prepare you. You stand now before the gates of divine assignment, and heaven waits for your answer. The Spirit of God declares, the testing is complete. Now begins the movement of purpose. Every sign in the sky, every vibration in your soul, every dream that refused to fade, they were all preparing you for this call. Midnight is no longer a time of fear. It has become the altar of activation. Lift your spirit and declare, I align before midnight. I answer the call. For this declaration is not symbolic. It is spiritual contract. Heaven cannot move where the will remains silent. The alarm sounded to awaken your decision. The moment you say yes, chains begin to unfasten, doors begin to shift, and divine timing begins to accelerate. This is the hour when obedience opens the unseen. The sound you once feared has now become the trumpet of your commissioning. Do not delay, for every destiny requires response. You have been prepared through stillness, through shaking, through surrender. Now you are ready to walk in divine command. The heavens above you are recording your agreement even now. Angels who once fought for your protection are now writing your yes into the books of purpose. This is no small moment. This is covenant being sealed in eternity. Heaven has aligned its resources with your readiness. The Spirit speaks. Your silence was your test. Your response is your reward. You were called to wait until the alarm ceased, and now that it has, you are called to speak. Heaven honors the word of the obedient. When your mouth agrees with the divine sound, creation begins to rearrange itself around your obedience. This is why the enemy fought your voice, because your agreement with heaven carries power. You were never powerless. You were simply unactivated. But tonight, heaven presses the seal of authority upon you. Rise, child of light. The realm above you is shifting in response. The ground beneath you is being sanctified by your faith. Every delay is being dismantled. Every hindrance is being removed. The call is clear. Step forward in faith. Pray with intensity. Speak promises over your home. Declare alignment over your destiny. The heavens are waiting for your sound, for your yes will echo across realms and command the unseen to obey. The same angels who once guarded you now march beside you, awaiting your instruction. You are no longer a bystander in the battle. You are a participant in the plan. This is the activation of your destiny. The Spirit declares, you have endured the midnight to inherit the dawn. You are no longer waiting for signs. You have become the sign. Your obedience will awaken others. Your movement will shift regions. What you speak from this day forward carries creative energy, for the alarm of Michael has sealed your words with weight. Heaven has chosen you to be a carrier of divine order, a voice of awakening, a vessel of light, in a world trembling with confusion. Do not question why you were chosen. Simply respond. The alarm did not call the crowd. It called the committed. The shaking did not test your worth. It revealed it. And now, the same power that sounded above you moves within you. Your destiny has been ignited by divine design. So lift your voice now. Whisper if you must, but speak. I align before midnight. I answer the call. And as you do, heaven will mark your name among those who responded. The sound of your obedience will become your shield, your guide, your inheritance. Type I answer the call in the comments if your spirit agrees. Blessing code 6611 now activates your divine destiny and seals your covenant with heaven. There are moments when heaven moves so quietly that only the still heart can hear. This is one of those moments. While the world above seems calm and the night feels hushed, the spirit realm is alive with activity. There is a silent exchange taking place, the divine economy of heaven in motion, where prayers become currency, tears become testimony, and obedience becomes authority. You cannot see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows. Something is being traded on your behalf in the courts of light. The alarm of Archangel Michael initiated it, but your endurance sustains it. Heaven is negotiating for what was promised to you long ago. As you rested, angels move. They travel between realms, carrying light, carrying record, carrying restoration. Heaven's archives are being revisited, and the scales are being balanced. The Spirit of God whispers, what was stolen is being returned. You may not hear thunder or see fire, but make no mistake, divine transaction is unfolding now. What once belonged to you in promise, but not in possession, is being transferred from the unseen into manifestation. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you cry, heaven records. Nothing has been lost, only delayed for the moment of righteous exchange. Do you feel the stillness? That is not emptiness. It is the breath of heaven between movements. The silent space between battles is where divine justice recalibrates. Heaven counts every act of faith you performed in darkness, every time you forgave when it hurt, every prayer whispered through tears, every time you chose silence over retaliation. These were not unnoticed. They were offerings. They are now being presented as evidence before the throne, and heaven is responding with recompense. You may begin to notice subtle changes, and ease where there was once resistance, clarity where there was confusion, peace where there was noise. These are the first ripples of transfer. What the enemy tried to twist has been rewritten. The forces that opposed you are now being commanded to release what they held. Archangel Michael stands over the process, ensuring that every portion of your inheritance returns intact. This exchange is delicate, divine, and deliberate. It happens not with noise, but with precision. The Spirit says, your silence has spoken louder than your struggle. Because you did not react in the natural, heaven was able to act in the supernatural. While others complained, you remained still. While others panicked, you trusted. And now, heaven honors that restraint. The unseen scribes write your name beside the word vindicated. Every delay is being rewritten into divine timing. Every injustice is being repurposed for revelation. Do not be deceived by the quiet. This is not the calm of nothingness. It is the stillness of fulfillment. The angels move like wind, unseen but unmistakable. You may sense warmth in your hands or a deep calm in your chest. These are the signals that exchange has begun. What was taken from you? Peace, joy, clarity, opportunity is being restored piece by piece into divine alignment. Nothing is lost. It is being transferred back to you divinely. The heavens record each moment. The watchers note each act of faith. And soon, you will see the evidence of what has been shifting in silence. Your steps will feel lighter, your path straighter, your discernment sharper. The unseen will begin to manifest, for heaven's ledger is complete, and the outcome has been declared in your favor. So rest tonight, not in uncertainty, but in knowing that heaven is at work on your behalf. The silent exchange is your reward for faith that did not faint. The battle has shifted from noise to negotiation, from alarm to assurance. The divine has spoken, Nothing you lost will remain missing. It is being returned with interest. Type "I receive my divine return" in the comments if this word speaks to your soul. Blessing code 7717 now releases restoration over your life. Justice is already in motion. Heaven has heard the cry that was never spoken aloud, the pain that was buried beneath silence, and the betrayal that you endured without retaliation. The alarm of Archangel Michael did not only signal awakening, it also initiated divine judgment. The same heavens that once trembled with warning now vibrate with verdict. The court of the Most High has convened, and the gavel of eternity has struck. The verdict is clear. The righteous shall be restored, and the deceiver shall be exposed. What once appeared as loss is now being rewritten as restoration. The energy you poured into places that never honored it, the love you gave to hearts that misused it, the faith you carried when others mocked it, all of it is being weighed in the scales of divine balance. And those scales are tipping in your favor. For the word of God has declared, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." Heaven is not blind to injustice. Heaven is patient, precise, and perfectly timed. The delay you felt was not neglect. It was evidence being gathered for your vindication. The alarm that Michael sounded was not just a call to awaken the chosen. It was a trumpet announcing that heaven would no longer tolerate the oppression of its own. The spiritual battle above you has now turned into spiritual courtroom proceedings. Angels have stepped forward as witnesses. Every false accusation, every manipulation, every secret plot against your peace has been recorded, and divine reversal has been decreed. The Spirit of God now declares, what was meant to bury you will become the soil that grows your breakthrough. The same sky that once seemed heavy with warning will now rain favor. You will see the signs of justice unfold around you. People who dismissed your worth will witness your rising. Circumstances that once limited you will turn to lift you. The very storms that tried to drown you will now carry you into destiny. Heaven does not simply restore what was stolen. It multiplies it. The tables are turning, not slowly, but suddenly. The divine clock has struck, and everything that was inverted will now be realigned. There is movement in the spirit, a great turning of tides. What was once beneath you now serves you. What was once against you now bows before divine decree. You will feel it in the coming days, unexpected favor, long-delayed justice, and peace that no opposition can disturb. You are stepping into the season of holy reversal. The battle you endured was not in vain. It was a setup for your announcement. Heaven always rewards endurance with evidence. Archangel Michael stands not as a warrior now, but as a herald. His sword that once defended now points forward, indicating the new path being cleared before you. Every obstacle that stood against you is being dismantled. The forces that whispered you are finished will watch as heaven says, you are chosen. The alarm that began this journey has fulfilled its purpose. It has exposed darkness, awakened light, and summoned divine justice. The Spirit of God speaks again. You will see reversal in threes. 3 confirmations, 3 manifestations, 3 waves of restoration will come. 1 for your name, 1 for your purpose, and 1 for your peace. Each one will testify that heaven's justice is not delayed, it is deliberate. For every wound, there will be wisdom. For every rejection, there will be recognition. For every loss, there will be overflow. You are walking into the fulfillment of divine order. Do not seek revenge. Watch redemption. The one who called you is faithful, and he is not finished. The alarm that once sounded judgment upon your enemies now sounds grace upon your life. Stand still, for heaven has spoken on your behalf, and no earthly voice can overturn its decree. Justice has begun. Reversal is unfolding. Heaven has rendered its verdict, and it is victory. Type "I receive divine justice" in the comments if this word resonates within your spirit. Blessing code 8880 now releases the winds of reversal and restoration upon your life. The sound has faded. The sky that once trembled now stands calm. The alarm of Archangel Michael has completed its divine purpose. What began as a warning has ended as a sealing. Heaven has inspected, tested, and confirmed you. You are no longer beneath judgment. You are beneath covering. The midnight hour that once carried fear now glows with revelation. You have endured the alarm, stood through the shaking, and received the revelation. Now you stand marked, sealed, seen, and safe under heaven's watch. You feel the air around you. It is lighter now, charged not with tension, but with peace. The angels that once fought above you now encamp around you. You are surrounded not by fear, but by favor. The heavens are open over your life, and the sound that once warned now whispers comfort. The alarm was never punishment, it was purification. Heaven had to shake what could not stand so that what was eternal in you could rise. Archangel Michael now returns his sword to its sheath, not because the battle has ended, but because victory has been declared. The Spirit of God speaks softly through the stillness. You are sealed for the season ahead. You are covered in light. You are strengthened for what comes next. Let your heart rest in this truth. The shaking was not for your destruction, but for your elevation. You have crossed the midnight threshold and entered divine morning. As you stand in this new peace, let the declaration rise within your spirit. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. You have not been preserved only to rest. You have been commissioned to carry light. The same anointing that awakened you now flows through you. You will become the sound of awakening for others, a vessel of peace where there was panic, a voice of guidance where there was confusion. Heaven will speak through your calm, and others will hear the echo of the alarm that once summoned you. The final blessing rests upon you now. May your nights be filled with revelation, not fear. May your mornings begin with clarity, not confusion. May your home be guarded by angels and your path illuminated by a divine fire. Let no shadow approach you, no deceit distract you, no storm unsettle you. You are covered by the authority of heaven, guided by the strength of Michael, and protected by the word that does not fail. You are sealed, you are seen, and you are sent. Rise now in peace, for the alarm has accomplished its purpose. Type "I am sealed in light" in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 9999 now surrounds you with eternal peace and divine favor. Before you go, remember this: when heaven seals a word, it expects it to continue echoing through those who have received it. If this message has touched your heart, if you have felt the anointing of Michael's alarm stirring in your spirit, I invite you to stand with this mission. Every act of giving becomes a bridge for this divine message to reach another soul still asleep in darkness. This is not a request for help. It is an invitation to partner with heaven's movement. Your super thanks, channel membership, or PayPal gift link in the description is not an offering to a voice, but to a vision, awakening hearts across the nations. The Spirit says, as you sow into light, I will multiply your light. Act with faith, give with purpose, and let your generosity speak in heaven's language. Type I partner with light in the comments. Blessing code 1212 now releases an overflow of divine favor upon your giving and your home.